This is the Great Basin prescribed fire and weather briefing for Friday, March 7th. Looking at our fire activity, no new natural fires, lots of project fires, though, given by the purple circles throughout, especially the southern and central regions of the Great Basin. We can see the precip amounts here, light to moderate amounts, where you see the darker green, higher terrain of much of Nevada and Utah. Not much in the north or in the southeast. You can see the percent of normal on the right-hand side. The only area above normal is this swath through here across north central Nevada, otherwise a drier than normal week. You see our 100-hour fuels. And continually looking at the flash drought. This is the 2-month flash drought index. Despite any weekly light to moderate precipitation, this is what the trend has been the last 8 weeks. And we can see that reflected in our snowpack. Near 50% of snowpack in the southern mountains of the Great Basin. But otherwise, the central and northern areas pretty much near, if not even somewhat above normal, which is looking pretty good now as we're getting into the second week of March. So looking at the upper level map for later today, upper level low pressure trough with clouds and moisture, some snow showers where you see the areas in the green through here. Drier, warmer weather under this high pressure ridge with a pretty strong northerly upper level flow. Still pretty good overall dispersion with northerly flow areas in the white to even the yellow. You can see the surface winds through here. Northerly winds tend to get accelerated as they come down slope off some of the mountains here and down into lower elevations. We see that effect in the south with the humidity down near 20% by Vegas, otherwise fairly high humidity in most other areas. The transport winds, though, without the friction of the terrain, much more prominent here from the north. You see the orange and purple shades, 25 to 35 miles an hour in many areas. Mixing heights vertically looking really good as well. Now, for Saturday, high pressure starts building on in. We do see a slight decrease in overall ventilation, with a lot of the red getting a lot larger across Idaho and much of northern Nevada and Utah. A lot of that's because of the light surface winds through here. Humidity actually looking pretty good for burning. 29% to 49% up in the north, 15 to 35% in the south. There'll be some pockets of locally strong transport winds again out of the northeast and downsloping across parts of southern Nevada and southern Utah, otherwise not significant elsewhere. And high pressure, so sunny skies and high pressure continues to dominate, especially across the central and eastern portions of the Great Basin. Areas in the red is where overall dispersion will be quite poor, but improving in the white. And notice the wind flow now. Instead of northerly, it is more of a southerly flow ahead of this trough. It's going to start improving dispersion across the western Great Basin. We see the surface wind starting to pick up out of the south here, maybe 10 to 20 miles an hour. Still quite dry humidity-wise. Could potentially help with any burn projects. You see the transport wind starting to increase ahead of that next trough of low pressure. Good overall vertical mixing in the west, a little lower in the east. 3-day precipitation total, some spotty amounts, most likely in the next 24 hours across parts of the eastern Great Basin. Now on Monday, this low pressure area actually cuts off the Southern California coast, but still providing more of a southerly flow and overall pretty good ventilation in many southern and central areas. That improves as we go into Tuesday. There'll be some clouds, maybe some light precipitation where you see the areas in the green. And then a stronger, more consolidated, deeper low pressure trough starts moving onshore across the western U.S. on Wednesday. Lots more clouds and widespread light to moderate precipitation amounts. Excellent overall dispersion. And that trough continues to dominate our weather pattern on Thursday. The heaviest precipitation in southern and eastern portions of the Great Basin. Precipitation, this is Monday morning through Wednesday morning. The heaviest stuff is right along the west coast, spotty stuff further east. But then as we go into Wednesday morning through Friday morning, widespread, I would say moderate precipitation across many areas. The areas in the blue are a ½ inch to an inch of liquid equivalent, probably 6 to 12 inches of snow in the higher terrain. But even southern areas get a good dosing of rain, so that's good news. 7-day precip totals through here, not too bad. And the 8 to 14 day outlook, much cooler than normal, or I should say colder than normal and wetter than normal. So a definite pattern change as we're getting into the third week of March. This is March 14th to the 20th. This concludes our briefing. Have a great day.